Motherland Tales, from its timeless traditional African folklore heritage, presents The Dreaded Tree. Once upon a time, in a small village known as Ovu, stood an ancient tree, larger and more ominous than any other in the forest. Its gnarled branches twisted towards the sky like skeletal fingers, and its roots burrowed deep into the earth, creating a labyrinth beneath the village. The villagers called it the Dreaded Tree, for its presence was a constant reminder of the dark secrets it bore. As the tree grew, strange and terrible things began to happen. Crops failed to grow in its shadow, and livestock avoided its vicinity. At night, eerie whispers emanated from its branches, and those who ventured too close often fell ill with strange ailments. In rare cases, people who passed through the pathway leading to the tree had disappeared and were never found. Sometimes heads of 5 women will pop up from the tree and suddenly disappear. The village elders convened, desperate to understand the tree's dark powers. They sought the wisdom of a revered diviner and exorcist named Okonta, who lived in the distant mountains. Okonta, who is known for his knowledge of both the natural and supernatural realms, agreed to visit the village and investigate the tree. Upon arriving, Okonta immediately sensed the malevolent energy radiating from the dreaded tree. He gathered the villagers and warned them, "This tree is cursed, harboring spirits of great sorrow and anger. To rid your village of this darkness, you must uncover the source of its torment." The villagers, led by Okonta, began to delve into the history of the dreaded tree. They discovered that the tree had sprouted from the spot where a great battle had once been fought. Long ago, Ovu village and a rival tribe had clashed there, each seeking control over the fertile land. The battle was fierce and bloody, and in its aftermath, the spirits of the fallen warriors were said to have seeped into the soil, fueling the tree's growth. But there was more to the story. Okonta also discovered that there was a pact made by the ancestors of the Ovu tribe. In their desperation to win the battle, they had called upon dark spirits, offering their loyalty in exchange for victory. The spirits, bound by the pact, had ensured their triumph, but at a terrible cost. The tree had grown from the blood-soaked battleground, and in turn, the Ovu villagers will pay with their blood, as their ancestors could not ensure the loyalty of successive generations to the spirits as their own part of the bargain. To break the curse, Okonta told the villagers they need to perform a powerful ritual of atonement. The ritual required the participation of every member of the village and the cooperation of nature itself. For 30 days and 30 nights, they would have to gather sacred herbs, recite ancient incantations, and make offerings to appease the spirits. The villagers were discouraged by the length of time it would take to banish these spirits, and there was disagreement among them. They wanted a powerful diviner who would do it on their behalf, for fear of them getting involved in spiritual matters of the dreaded tree. Some suggested names of powerful diviners who will appease or exorcise the spirits in a day. In the end, they could not conclude on any. The next day, they were able to come up with names of strong diviners and spiritualists. The first was Ndege, a powerful and revered diviner, known for his great powers. The second was Ukamba, the greatest seer for different villages. The village elders took a long trip over 3 villages to Ndege's shrine. When they arrived, Ndege welcomed them and informed them of the requirements for the ritual of exorcism. The elders agreed to make available all the requirements. The day for the exercise was 2 market days after their meeting, and Ndege was ready to arrive at that very day. The elders were elated, and news spread about Ndege's visit. Everyone was happy that the great Ndege would visit and help their village. The day came, the village elders welcomed Ndege at the Ovu village square and thereafter accompanied him to the dreaded tree. In the course of making incantations, Ndege suddenly ran away, and the elders ran after him. They tried to make him explain what happened, but he did not say a word. He eventually managed to warn the elders never to visit his shrine on issues concerning the dreaded tree. The elders and the entire villagers were disappointed that the great Ndege could not exorcise or appease the spirit, but ran away like a coward. A day after, the elders convened another meeting, where they decided that Ukamba, the greatest seer and exorcist, would be consulted to visit the dreaded tree. The day came, Ukamba arrived and commenced his incantation to the joy of the elders who were watching from afar. This time, at least he is doing what Ndege apparently could not do. In the course of his incantation, while the elders were happy that Ukamba has gone deep into his ritual, he suddenly appeared to be pinned to the spot and could no longer make body movement. The same moment the elders noticed this situation, Ukamba fell flat in front of the dreaded tree and died. In fear, all the elders ran away from their various viewing positions. There was gloom and uncertainty in the entire village, as their hope of rescue has evaporated. The great Ndege was unable to perform, and Ukamba, the great seer and exorcist, was dead. The villagers accepted their fate and lost interest in seeking any diviner or exorcist for help. When it appeared all hope was lost, the elders, now in unison, accepted what Okonta had earlier told them to do. The villagers worked tirelessly, their fear turning to determination. They followed Okonta's instructions meticulously, knowing that the peace of their home and the entire village depended on the success of the ritual. On the 30th night, under a full moon, they gathered around the dreaded tree, their voices rising in a haunting chant. Okonta stepped forward, standing before the dreaded tree. "Great spirits," he called out, "we acknowledge the wrongs of our ancestors. We seek to atone for their betrayal and to bring peace to this land. Accept our offerings and release us from this curse." As the final words of the incantation were spoken, a chilling wind swept through the village. The ground trembled, and the tree's branches shook violently. Ghostly figures emerged from the trunk of the tree. They were spirits cloaked in sorrow and rage. The air was filled with a profound silence. Then, in a voice that reverberated with centuries of anguish, it spoke. "The blood of the past binds us, but your courage and unity have shown us the possibility of peace. We shall release our hold. But remember, the past cannot be undone. You must honor your ancestors by living in harmony in the land with one another." With those words, the spirits vanished. The air around it grew warmer, and the curse was lifted. Months after, crops started growing around the dreaded tree, and normalcy returned. This story from Motherland Tales teaches a lesson on the consequences of non-adherence to pact. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment to our channel so that whenever we post a new video, you will be the first to be notified.